fact that one may see this sequel as unnecessary is completely, totally, 100% a meaningless statement. Precisely because it's true. Huh? You must be thinking. Now hear me out. Yes, this sequel is unnecessary. But you know what else is unnecessary? Every other Toy Story sequel, especially 3, coming insert number years here after the original. But that didn't stop both from being fantastic films, and most people consider the best film to be one of the sequels. Very few would call Toy Story the best. Which is true, I have a hard time choosing between 2 and 3 myself. And I know most people seem to like 2 the most. Now, I know what else you're thinking. The originals were a trilogy of films that ended on a lovely final note, so continuing that would be bad. But I would argue that this is hindsight talking. We live in a world after Toy Story 3 has been released, so we can assess how it feels and relates to the other stories. 4 hasn't come out yet, obviously. The thing is, each individual Toy Story is written like it's going to be the last one, because Pixar does not write stories with sequels in mind. So Toy Story 3 feels final because of course it does. It was written to be the last one. I'm sure that before 3 came out, 2 felt final. I mean, it ended on the main characters choosing between living in a museum and staying home to be played with, and realizing it's more important as a toy to be played with. And yes, that I'm sure that feels like a final decision, as in, what's the purpose of a toy? So I know what else you're thinking. This is just a cash grab, which is just dumb because it's Pixar. Literally everything they do will grab your cash, and it's Disney. They want to grab your cash, and they do it with any movie. Look at all the live action nonsense they're doing right now. Plus, you know, they already did their cash grab franchise. Cars came out, Cars 3, and it tried to get back some respect for the Cars franchise, and seemingly did. I haven't seen it yet, but I hear it's fine. And Cars toys actually make more money than Toy Story toys now. So yes, Cars is the cash grab franchise. Toy Story is the original franchise. It's the thing that they started with. There's absolutely no way they're going to try and mess this up. There's no way they'd make a Toy Story 4 unless they had a story to make. And so I'm confident that the story is going to be fine. Because you look at the story, or at least what the story is hinted at being in the teaser, the first teaser, which is a phrase that exists now, but the first teaser, basically all the characters, and then the spoon fork spork, the spoon, where it's basically what makes a toy a toy. And that's an interesting idea. I mean, it seems simple, but beauty in simplicity is a part of this franchise. It's a simple idea. The best movies are simple ideas that are very well executed, rather than complex ideas, which also bodes well for this movie. What's having me a little confused is that I was under the impression that some little Bo Peep rescue mission thing. I haven't heard anything about that since ages ago, but I was under the impression that that was the story. I have no idea if they scrapped that because it sounded too standard, because it does, or if it's incorporated into everything, some sort of subplot or part of the story, which, I mean, it's impossible to know until the trailer comes out. The third trailer that's not a teaser. It's impossible to know until that comes out. But when that comes out, we'll have more context, and I'm sure a lot of people's words will be lowered. So yeah, I mean, like I said, it's Pixar. They are always incredibly popular or incredibly successful. And yeah, go see it. I'm saying too early. Could end up being terrible. Well, no, it's not going to be terrible. To be perfectly honest, that's just not going to happen. It could be okay, but it's not going to be terrible. So yeah, I didn't write an ending. I can't think of an ending. As for the Lego movie, Lego movie 2. The thing is that I'm wondering if the magic some of the magic will be removed because we know that it's just people playing with toys, and so we know that this is just the younger sister playing, and the son having pushed back against that, and then them learning to work together and have fun playing with each other. And yeah, we know this now, and that's going to be less surprising. I'm wondering that's going to take away some of the magic of the Lego movie. That's the first thing that comes to mind, because it seems really obvious in the trailer once you know about the context of how these movies work. However, the humor, everything else still seems incredibly good. Like, I am very interested in seeing exactly how this world is executed, because I'm still not sure why. Is it specifically an apocalypse world because he needs to go so far away from the cute, happy-go-lucky stuff his sister is doing that it made the world end up becoming incredibly edgy? And so is the movie about him being more cynical because of this happening, and so the world is more cynical because he would be right up there saying everything's awesome before, but now he's not doing that, except for the main character. Is the main character representing that glimmer of hope inside him, the fun he wants to have but can't have because his sister is doing things? These are interesting things I'm thinking, and I might be way off base because I'm terrible at speculating. I mean, I thought Let's Go was going to be a 3DS game, which it should have been, but yeah, who knows? I've probably said nonsense for the entirety of this half of the video. But besides that, there isn't really... I expected to say more, but there really isn't much to say because everything seems to be going well in terms of the humor and characters. Nothing stands out, which that's... I mean, okay, the first half of this video is me defending a sequel, and now I'm here talking about the problems with sequels. Is that you've seen it, so it's inherently less surprising. So you're just here for more, really. Hey, this was very well executed. Now let's have 2 hours. It's like a movie 2 hours long, but let's have 2 hours more of the thing that I liked before, and that's going to be good. But it's less to be surprised about because you've already experienced it, unless the sequel goes in a completely different direction, or the franchise is good enough that you know that, wow, this is going to be incredible, like Incredibles, which I still haven't seen, so I have no idea. I'm going to watch it like now, but I still haven't seen it, so I don't know if I'm talking out of my bum. But yes, where was I? Right. So unless it's some sort of extra incredible circumstance, like I am super excited for Toy Story 4 because the standards they have means that I'm sure there's going to be something great. And even though Lego Movie was really close to that good, the thing is I can't think about. I just don't know. Maybe it's because I know so much about the structure of I know so much about what the plot is going to be, and I know nothing else, which means I know enough and don't know enough to not be excited, compared to Toy Story 4, where it's the opposite. I know enough and not know enough to be super excited. It could just be entirely how the trailer is executed, and it's impossible to know until after the movie comes out. So I guess we wait for the movie to come out. And I'd be wrong about that too.